want to welcome everyone who's listening or not to our very first episode of R2-D2 Brothers podcast. My name is Josh, and I'm here with
Thomas, his brother, so hence the name.
brothers. Yep, have to be
Yep.
brothers here. And today, like I said, is our first episode of R2-D2 Brothers podcast. We wanted to start a podcast. We found this love for Star Wars, and it sparked the idea to share our discussions and arguments with the galaxy, really. I guess we'll just start small with a little podcast here on Earth. So we got Star Wars lined up today for sure, and we also can detour out of Star Wars, and we can have some other discussions, which is the best part about that name that we have. Today we have a full lineup of Star Wars. Yes. So we'll jump right into it. We got we're going to do two topics today. What's your favorite segment? And this week we're going to go with what's your favorite film or feature film, and then why? Why don't we start with yours?
See, that's a tough decision. See, I'm torn between Revenge of the Sith just because of the nostalgia. Because I remember playing that game, Lego Star Wars, with Steph, our sister, just growing up playing that, and that's kind of what started me on this whole Star Wars universe. Like, that one module or section of the game of Revenge of the Sith was probably my favorite, but I think that game is really what started it. So I would say nostalgic reasons, I would say Revenge of the Sith. But I think the best film has to be Rogue One. There we go. I think Rogue One is such a good movie. Like, it's just a really good movie, and it's a really good Star Wars movie. And you can't see me, but I'm doing air quotes right now.
Yeah, and you're doing the air quotes. For anybody who doesn't know much, the air quotes are going to be because there's not too many Star Wars-y characters, right? Like, there's no Jedis. There's not really there's not much of the Force being used in there, is there? It's kind of a
you do with one character, and that's the main character, not the main character, the main villain, I should say, that you see.
Yeah,
you see with Vader all the time in there, but he's the chosen one, so obviously he has to use the Force.
yeah, and it's I hope this is not. You know what? If it is a spoiler, that thing's been out forever anyways. Vader's in that film, right?
Yes, Vader is in that film. He is the main antagonist in that film.
Yep, and he comes out, like, I want to say in the last maybe third of the film when he actually gets to display a very cool, what I thought, display of Vader's powers comparatively to the older films. And it was a much closer representation of Vader in, like, what you would read in the comics instead of the films.
Yes. That last scene, I don't know if it's an end credit scene, but where he boards the Tentative 5 trying to get those Death Star plans back. And he's just slicing his way, not even, like, trying, just demolishing his way through all of those guards.
Yeah.
It just shows how powerful that man actually is.
Yeah. Yeah, Vader's for sure one of, we'll stick with canon today. Actually, I have to go back. We just did feature films. Although there is feature films that isn't canon. So, I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, feature film. Yeah.
Yeah, so feature. So Vader in any feature, but in the comics, which you actually have given me some of your Vader comics, and I still have to get to them. I know.
Those are canon. I'm pretty sure those comics are canon because they're written by Marvel, which is a Disney conglomerate.
It's no longer. I called it for the longest time the new Star Wars line or the new Vader line, and that's no longer it. Like,
it came out in 2015.
Yeah, yes. 15. Yeah, so long ago now,
or 12 or something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that, and so I still have to read those. I have the ones that you got me and or let me borrow. I have the other issue as well that I have that is one of the newer Vader lines. And I'm very excited to get to him because I've just heard so many good things about, like, I guess you read about Vader in the books, but now you like those comics actually brought who Vader actually is to life.
And
And
those comics really do bring and show the true power of the Chosen One.
yeah, yep, it's very cool. I need to get to them. But okay, so your favorite is Revenge of the Sith, which is Star Wars
Just for
Episode 3,
3, yes.
and you think the best one is Rogue One.
Yeah, I think that it just has so many cool like points, and it's such a good plot.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't follow the modern Disney the sequel where they're just trying to pump out stuff at this point.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then I'll go with mine. And mine is going to be my favorite Star Wars film is Empire Strikes Back.
Very, very valid choice.
Yeah. That one has a lot of meaning to me. I think like when I was a kid, it was a fun one to watch cuz that one starts off I think it starts out like, oh gosh, man, I'm going to get to my memory here. It starts off on Hoth if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And which is a very different scene than you've seen before. And the opening scene of that was just for some reason it captured me. Whatever they did, that opening scene always captured me when I was a kid, when I saw it, like, for the first time. Then it goes into further stories, and that is the first time you meet Yoda. He goes to Dagobah and meets Yoda, and that scene is really cool. I like Yoda, is one of my favorite characters, but that scene became even more fun for me as a parent when we could only get my daughter to sit down and like clip her nails, but we had to watch the entire scene when he first meets Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back. And that scene has just, I don't know, it's got such more meaning to me now after that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it
So,
does.
and because I love that scene so much, and that's all in my favorite film, that's why I gotta say that one's my favorite film. Now, I will have to say that I liked The Last Jedi. I don't know if I would put that. I'm not going to put that higher than Empire Strikes Back, and then I wouldn't put that higher than A New Hope for me. Gosh, it's so hard to pick a favorite film. I'm thinking back, and I know many people hate The Phantom Menace, but when that came out, I was such a little kid, and I just couldn't wait to get home from school with a buddy and just watch the film, like, because we had the movie. I just wanted to watch it. I'd watch it after school every day just because it's a new Star Wars film when that came out. So it's funny how, like, you're talking about your nostalgia one. My nostalgia one would probably have to be The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, and the Phantom Menace, like, I will say this: George Lucas is not really good at writing lines, but he is really good at making plot.
Yeah.
Because that's where you get the, oh, but I want to go to the Tashi station, or now this is pod racing. Like, it's the actors can only do so much with the script that they're given, but it's still like the plot of the Phantom Menace really sets up, like, really brings together the stuff that came out. What is it? 20 years earlier? 83 to 99? Yeah. 30? 20 years? No.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when
way.
it came out in 2000, 99,
99
and what Star Wars
83.
A New Hope came
Star
out
Wars came out in 77. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page right now.
It's probably 3 years for the next one, and then 3 years for the next one, or roughly, right? I don't know, man. I think the Phantom Menace might be one of my favorites now. Like, I think, like, I would have to pick. Oh my gosh, I would have to pick Empire Strikes Back. Now that I have to redo my order, and I'm gonna put Phantom Menace as my second favorite.
Yeah.
I think just because of, like, I don't know, it was different, and it was the first time in a while since we've got to see a Star Wars film. Like, that was also like, I was a kid, so it
And
was not an old film like the old ones were.
yeah.
And
See, I didn't get that. Did you go to the theater for that? Did Dad take you?
no, I don't think so.
Oh. See,
Yeah.
I was talking to Mike and Tim, who I eventually hope to get on the show with us.
Yeah.
They were saying they were in the theater when that came out, and when Darth Maul lit up that lightsaber,
Yeah.
the whole audience was just that second when he had that dual lightsaber, the whole audience just went crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I never got to experience that at the theater.
Yeah, but I mean,
Unfortunately.
still, just the first time you're watching that, like
Yeah.
that's such a you've not seen that before. There's so much that you haven't seen that George Lucas just really
Yeah, there's
like.
that whole pod racing scene, which I thought was,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. There's no pod
Oh
racing.
yeah.
There's none of that in any of the other 9 or 8 films. There's nothing
No.
like that.
The Last Jedi, I believe, has the
Oh,
horse racing, but
okay.
that's like modern day
Yeah.
horse racing.
And you know what? I know a lot of people don't like Jar Jar, but I found him funny as a kid. I mean,
I
when I was a
still do.
kid and that came out, I loved Jar Jar. I found him hilarious, and I
It,
uh I loved the whole like underworld. Like
yeah,
that's such a creative film to me.
yeah, and the whole people who didn't care for Jar Jar were Dad's generation. Mainly, I mean, think about it. Like the people who are Josh to are Dan's generation.
Yeah.
Like who grew up on the old movies, and they're relatively like serious movies. They have some comic. They don't have like a comedic character whose whole sole purpose is to be a comedic break.
Yeah. And they actually had the guy that plays Maul, and I should know his name, but I don't. He's
Yeah.
very good at whatever this is called, swordsmanship. I don't know what it's called. That dude's phenomenal at it. I
Yes.
mean, he's got a career at doing that. And like for the first time, you actually have like acrobatic force users, I think, on film. If
Well,
that makes
the
sense.
main reason why they couldn't earlier was because they had giant battery packs in
Yeah.
1977.
Yeah.
They had giant battery packs that with the wires running up their sleeves. They couldn't really do acrobatic things. This is why, yeah, you got
Yeah.
the acrobatics. You know?
I remember, I can't remember who it was now. Somebody mentioned how they didn't like, we're going to go cycle back to Rogue One, how they didn't necessarily like how powerful Vader was in comparative to the old films, because that's supposed to be before, that was supposed to be, what was it? Like right before? Yeah, Rogue One takes place right before A New
Oh, yeah,
Hope.
right. Yeah, A New Hope.
And
It
the
leads.
scene,
You can watch the end scene straight into A
yep.
New Hope,
And the
and it
scene
lines up perfectly.
Yeah, and the scene when Ben and him fight on the Death Star is
Yeah,
very
very.
in acrobatic.
But you gotta think for 1977.
Exactly. That's my thing. It's like you got to think of like the time frames of the films, but like some
Yeah,
people that have seen that are like they don't like that. And but
yeah,
I
I
always I saw that and thought the same as you. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like I've shown A New Hope to people before, and they're like, "This is old," and I'm like, "But why are they just like gently swinging their lightsabers at them?" And I had to explain, like they had giant battery packs. They couldn't actually hit the light strips. It was essentially like an LED light strip.
Yeah.
I don't think it was LED because I don't know if that technology. Anyways, it was just a rod. It might have been like a neon rod.
Yeah.
They couldn't actually hit that together, otherwise it would break.
Yeah. Now, I think you can see this, and I think I was able to see it as a kid and didn't necessarily know what it is. And now as like an adult that knows, I guess, how to create a film or like post-production things, like I can really analyze a shot and I'll tell things that would have happened to get that shot. Like I can, understand how it's done a little better. But anyways, what
Yeah.
I'm getting at is they had to do for the lightsaber, what would that be called? Engaging. They would do a stop, it's
Yeah,
like a
a
stop
cut.
motion. So you stop, and the actors would have to hold still while they would go in
And
there
then
and
somebody
put,
would run over, turn on the pack, and then
yeah,
run away, and then yes.
and then you start
That's
again.
a jump cut or something. Not
Y-
a jump cut.
I think
Some
that
type
would
of
be
cut.
called a jump cut. Yeah, technically. You want to get into editing terms. I think that technically would be called a jump cut,
Yeah.
which is generally very jarring and not
Yes.
done often. But back then, like, you didn't really have any other options. Also,
Yeah.
people do forget that Star Wars: A New Hope was a lower budget film.
Oh, very low
Like,
budget. It
people have to realize
$11 million.
people have to realize that it was not a very high budget film. It was a lower
Yeah.
budget film. Like, yes, it's not like made in somebody's backyard and it has full studios, but in comparative to things that were coming out around then,
Compared to the new one that's coming, like the new stuff,
right?
like yeah, they
Yeah,
like even with comparing like the inflation rates, it was $11 million was their budget. I'm
budget
looking at the
$11 million.
Wikipedia page.
Perfect. Okay, so
Yeah.
you got it. $11 million. To put that into
In
perspective for anybody that has watched Game of Thrones, the final episode of Game of Thrones had episode, not season, episode, I believe had a 15 to 25 million dollar budget. I don't know the numbers. I'm giving you a range because I don't quite remember. We can look that up. So there you have it. The Game of Thrones final like final season, one of their episodes.
the so Avengers Endgame, the highest grossing film of all time, had a budget of $356 million.
Yeah. Quite a
Well,
bit.
let's see what the inflation calculator says for the 11 million. That would be about $56 million or $60 million right now. So that is like 9 times
Yeah.
more expensive to produce Endgame
Yep.
than
Yeah. So like, I almost don't know if we can call it a low budget film, but like as a feature,
it
for sure that is low. That is
definitely was a low budget film. And they were only hiring actors. Mark Hamill had one role beforehand.
that's
Carrie Fisher had
that's true. They were
her
both.
mom. That's it.
That's true.
Like
She had her name, but
she
Carrie
was
Fisher and Mark Hamill were both, if I'm not mistaken, 18 or 19.
19. They were 19 years old when
Yeah.
that came out. Harrison Ford was a carpenter before he started that. The only two people who had semi big careers were Peter Cushing and Alec Guinness.
So I pulled up some Harrison Ford, and yeah, I mean he's got some TV movies. Looks like just some spots, but it looks like A New Hope is his first feature that he was in.
Yeah. And he was on set. I don't know how true the story is. I heard this in an interview where he tried acting and then he just went back to carpentry. Like he started carpentry and then tried acting, didn't make it too much. I'm looking at it right now. George Lucas asked him to like fill in for the I don't know,
Yeah.
for the reading session, and then he was like, "Wait a damn minute. Do you want the role?"
One of my favorite, I guess, quotes in film. Like I like to quote some of my favorite films just in daily settings where it seems applicable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes is his from when they get to the detention center and they're about to rescue Leia, and they just shoot up everything, and he gets on the mic. He's like, what's going on up there? He's like, we're all fine here. That line is some of my favorites. So I will quote that like in regular life, like something happens, like what's going on? I'm like, we're all fine here. Everything's fine. How are you? I found that very funny. I don't know why that line stuck to me and is one that I will quote often.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's comedic moments in the original, but
Mm-hmm.
like going back to the Jar Jar thing. But yeah, and it sucks when there's one character. Like, he was the only comedic break in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back to Phantom Menace, there's no other comedy essentially. It's
Yeah.
a very serious movie, and then you have Jar Jar.
Yeah, I do enjoy that film now that I think about it. I have to go with
Oh yeah,
the old one.
it's a
I
good
have to go
film.
with the old one. Okay, so I may have to switch now. I may have to say my favorite is the Phantom Menace, and I will have to go. The second favorite is the old one because I've probably seen the Phantom Menace more than the Empire Strikes Back. I don't know. Because I watched them like, I don't know. That's hard. Those two are neck and neck. I can't pick. I don't know.
Yeah,
One day I'll pick
I've
one day I'll
definitely
pick the other one.
watched more of the prequel and trilogy than the sequels. I have nothing against them.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're just
I really
like
like.
The Force Awakens is very very similar to A New Hope and
Oh yeah,
all.
which in my opinion, so yeah, let's go to that. In my opinion, that makes it a good film.
Yes.
And a lot of people saw it as the opposite of, oh, you're just doing the same thing again. But in my
Yeah.
opinion, I'm like, the first film was a good film comparative to some of them.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand, like, yeah, story wise, plot wise, it's not very creative,
Yeah.
but it's a model that works. I would
And
have liked it to
that's
be a
what.
little different. That's why I like the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
But they nailed it. I thought they did really well in that film.
With the Force Awakens, yeah,
Yeah,
or the Phantom Menace.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, it was a really good, like, oh my god, Star Wars is back.
Yes.
Like, and I get them not wanting to try too experimental of things, because if you try to, like, if they released The Last Jedi first, I don't know if the Star Wars would have taken off as it did for the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they would have made a trilogy out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they were smart in doing what works. I will agree with that.
Yeah. I'm also going to say that while the segment today is what's your favorite feature film and why, that I, as a general Star Wars fan, would prefer to consume almost any other type of Star Wars media than the films in a preference.
Yeah.
With that being said, is I'd rather watch the Clone Wars,
Oh
or
yeah.
I'd rather read some of the comics or the books than the films, because I feel like those all
You can
represent Star Wars far more than the films have. And I'm
and
sick
with
of the Skywalker name. Like, I am so over the Skywalker
yeah,
saga.
it's there's a lot of it. And that's pretty much like the Clone Wars. There's a lot of the Clone Wars. But it helps show again the true power of the Chosen One and the corruption and the lead to Revenge of the Sith, and
Yeah.
like that's a I don't know. I do like the prequel trilogy is a good storyline.
Yeah.
Like it really shows the backstory of Anakin. Like
Yeah.
it really,
Where
and then the Clone Wars really just takes that and just blows it up. Like
right.
even better.
All right, why don't we go ahead and move on to the second topic? And our second one here today
Yeah.
is also going to
'Cause-
be a reoccurring one. I think. I
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah, we just
Yeah,
gotta
sure.
we could
Yeah,
open up for
definitely.
suggestions,
Yes.
you know?
It's going to be a reoccurring
Like
segment. This one is going to be who would win. And we'll
yeah.
just put in some main points, and from
Two
you and
characters
from me.
or
Yeah, we'll select two people. This week we're gonna choose two of what I think. See, I can't say that anymore because there's the new roly poly droid.
Droidicas? Oh
No,
no, BB-8.
BB-8. I was gonna say two of what I think is gonna be the most popular or favorite droids in Star Wars, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think more people would like BB-8 over Chopper, and I think more people would even like 3PO over Chopper.
Yes,
I
Chopper is a very underappreciated droid.
Chopper's my favorite droid, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
I do like Chopper. Yeah, so this week we're going to do R2-D2 versus Chopper in a battle. If they were fighting
Theoretically to
physically,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll go with, I guess, well, let's start with, we already have the format. I've got a few things to talk about why Chopper would win, and you've got a few things to talk about why R2 would win. But why don't we just up front, who do you think would win? Just your preference without going into what we are going to talk about.
100% hands down Chopper. Like,
yeah.
I think you agree with me, but for argument's sake, I'm going to take R2-D2 and try to battle my way out of this.
R2-D2 though is the absolute most beloved
yes.
droid, if not character of all of Star Wars.
He is in every single film.
Yes.
He is one of the very few characters that are in every single film.
Yes. He is one of the very
3PO
few.
is the only other one. I don't know what Chopper has, but I believe R2 has more tools to his disposal than Chopper does.
That might be true, yeah.
And if R2 is smart enough, which I think he is, he could use those tools to his advantage. Like in Revenge of the Sith, where he kills those two droids in that oil slick, where he catches them on fire on the invisible hand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where this is another thing. I think it's kind of jumping around here. Are we going to count droid deaths as total kill count too?
Well, I mean, I would think maybe in this argument, I don't know. That's hard. The only reason I want to say, I want to say in this argument you might be able to because they're droids.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think R2 wins in total kill count.
Yeah.
In luckily some other person did the total kill count for me, and I don't have to go through individually. And but R2 has a total kill count of 1,251,000 beings, I will say.
Okay.
And he has killed, including droids. But I will say 90% of his kills are droids, though.
Yeah.
R2 kills. I don't think he kills any people.
Yeah. Okay.
He might have sucked a couple people out into into space, but for the most part, it is just droids that he's killing. R2 redirected heat missiles to hit the ship, which killed 1,000,005 battle droids and 120 vulture droids, which are essentially the flying ones. Their version of the fighter pilots.
Yeah.
So I mean that alone really just boosted it. It's the same ship that Anakin crash landed in Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
It's the same size ship, just that's what R2 blew up.
Okay. Yeah.
And like I said, there was no humans,
He crash lands that in Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, that's when he crash landed that.
For some
it's
reason,
the opening sequence of Revenge of the Sith. It's one of the best opening sequences ever. He also has the electric shock, which you see in a couple movies where he kills the Budge droid and stuff like that. But I believe Chopper has that too. So I'm not gonna count that against him.
Yeah.
but R2 can fly. I don't
R2
think
can fly.
does Chopper. Oh, Chopper does fly.
I think Chopper does fly. Yeah, I think I've seen him fly around
Yeah.
like around the Ghost or something outside to do something.
Yeah. He has
But
a circular saw.
we will say that Chopper. I'll say this about Chopper versus R2 is I feel like Chopper has had. It's hard to say. It's almost like I feel like Chopper's had a lot less screen time. Like we don't almost not know a whole lot about Chopper as much as we feel like we know about R2, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've seen it where he can shoot something out and it's like a suction cup.
Oh, yeah.
And he
it's
can either
like
pull
a
it
magnet.
to him. Oh, so maybe it's a
Yes,
magnet.
He does have that.
He can pull
It's
it
like
to
a
him,
magnet,
or
yeah.
he can like swing.
This article, yeah. This article's not complete.
That's pretty cool.
I think he has a better mechanical aspect to his brain than Chopper does.
Chopper's
so
very
that he
human.
could use that to his yes.
He's very
emotional.
emotional.
Yes. And I think I was meaning not that. I was meaning like a mechanical like a mechanic building a car.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think he could use that, but yes, that is true. He has a lot more mechanical. He's more emotional, but he's level-headed too.
I think physically and maybe the abilities and the attitude of Chopper give him the upper hand, but it would not surprise me in a way that you could. I mean, it's all fake, so in a way that you could write it so that if R2 got him to lose his cool somehow and then won by tricking him somehow, that would happen. And I would believe
R2
that.
has done that before.
I would believe that 1,000%. Like, I would believe that because of how emotional Chopper can be.
Vendettive.
I almost think that, like, R2 really does have a good chance in that fight.
Yeah.
Because of that.
If R2 can keep his cool, I think he could beat him.
Yeah.
Josh found this where it's Vader versus R2-D2 and 3PO. And they win. They win against Vader.
It's so funny.
It's a 2000 book. It's part of a 2000 book called Star Wars Manga Silver. Anakin's trying to turn them back to his side, and he tells 3PO that I'm your creator and tries to restore the protocol droid's memory. But R2 picks up a lightsaber and fights him with the lightsaber. But the droid stumbles into Darth Vader, pushing him into a carbonite freezing chamber. And I love how the article ends with the story ends with Vader encased in carbonite and the droids staring at their old master in awe. Like, it seems like such a coincidental, like, holy shit, how did we do that? Like,
yeah. It's very funny, and it's very, like, I think it's a fun, like, spoof. Like, I think it's a very funny thing, and I think they really nailed some of their personalities, too.
Yeah.
Because
and it's almost like
C-3PO's
R2 has a little bit of, and it's almost like R2's showing a little bit of his chopperness out, like,
yeah.
Like picking up a lightsaber and fighting Darth Vader. Like, who would do that? I think R2 would, because he has the history of, like, all of the Clone Wars.
And if I'm not mistaken, that article says that R2 lands a strike on his chest plate.
Yes.
So he actually strikes Vader with the saber.
And he only did that while he was trying to corrupt 3PO's mind. I'm reading that right now.
Yeah. So R2 is like, he's trying, like, he's going.
Oh, yeah.
And then while he was fighting, they just stumbles into him and pushes him into the carbonite chamber.
Here it is. 3PO makes one of his trademark cowardly escapes, but the droid stumbles into Darth Vader.
So funny. So I guess, I mean, you got, like, you have fought Darth Vader on your resume.
He beat the Chosen One.
Yeah.
How many people can say they beat the Chosen One?
Yeah. All right, so I've got some stuff here for Chopper. And this article's just got an assessment. It just breaks down some of, here's what it says. Choppers / murderous techniques or tendencies. I mean, not techniques. And it's literally like what kind of happens. And so there's just different episodes that then Chopper's mostly in. Now, I forgot that Chopper's in the new live action Ahsoka. You just told me that today before we started recording. Right? So I'd forgotten that Chopper was in that, or didn't know. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see it all. I don't know. I can't believe I don't remember that.
Yeah, he's not like a big character in it, which is probably why you didn't remember him.
Okay. So most of these things that Chopper has is going to be from the oh my
Rebels.
good God. Yeah, Rebels. I almost said Clone Wars. Yeah, it's going to be all from Rebels. That's pretty much all we see of Chopper, which is only a handful of seasons. So we only have that little bit of, and it's not all focused on Chopper. So, but we only have that little bit of Chopper. But right here in the machine, yes, the episode in the machine and the ghost, Chopper blows up a TIE fighter, so he kills one. In the season premiere, he blew up 3 more TIE fighters, so that's a total of 4.
But these are actual people.
These are actual people, yeah.
These aren't.
In
These
episode
aren't droids.
4, Chopper attempted to murder Ezra, but he was unsuccessful. In episode 5, he blew up a leg of an AT-DP, which has likely only resulted in non-fatal injuries.
Likely.
Yeah. Episode 11, he committed cold blood murder against another astromech and shoved its lifeless carcass onto into the sewer. This is gonna be so fun. We gotta keep reading through this. Episode 13, he opened an airlock, causing 4 stormtroopers to suffocate. In the same episode, he also pushed a completely innocent astromech out of the cargo hold, completely unprovoked. I need to go back and watch this now. This is ridiculous. Chopper, what are you doing?
Just go rewatch all these episodes only.
Yes, this is the key episodes to watching all of Chopper's madness. Season 2, episode 8, he turned the gravity off, causing 3 Imperials to plummet to their deaths.
Oh my god.
He also tries to kill Ezra, but he was unsuccessful. Again. I don't remember him trying to kill Ezra.
I don't either.
And that's twice that he's trying to kill Ezra. In the same episode, he also sabotaged the indicator, causing it to explode, taking 2 Imperial cruisers down with it. Oh my gosh. The indicator seemed roughly the same size as an Imperial I-class. I do not know what that is, but an Imperial I-class Star Destroyer.
Good thing we have the Googles.
Yeah, which according to the wiki has over 37,000 crew members, in addition to 9,700 stormtroopers, so that makes his total just under 47,000 people.
Oh, the I-class is the Star Destroyer.
Oh gosh, yeah, it says Imperial class, I-class Star Destroyer. Yep. Okay. Jeez.
So it's the one that you see in the first movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god.
And the crew of the Imperial light cruisers, he killed the crews of 2 Imperial light cruisers, so that's at least 50,000. So now we're on to season 2, episode 9. He suggested that they blow up a Force-sensitive baby, but Zeb wouldn't let him go through with it.
I love how Zeb's the logical one there. Like,
yes.
What?
Oh my gosh, Chopper! I need to watch Rebels again. This is now going to spark me to watch Rebels. In season 2, episode 16, Chopper again murders a fellow astromech, but but at least this time he doesn't desecrate its corpse. Season 2, episode 18, Chopper detached a cargo hold containing at least 7 stormtroopers, leaving them stranded in space. Assuming that they weren't rescued, that's now 50,015. I love this article. Assuming they weren't rescued. So season 3 premiere, Chopper shot down a mining guild TIE fighter. So that's another one. I don't know what that is.
Mining guild. I think it's spice mining
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
because they were the
Yeah.
Pike Syndicate. I think.
Yep. Okay. That makes sense. So that's also another droid in that too. So he killed another droid as well. So now it's 50,016 plus that droid. In season 3, episode 4, he blew up Hera's home. My guess is that he killed at least 24 stormtroopers and possibly some Twi'leks in the kitchen. I do not remember that.
We have to rewatch this because I don't know what your article you're watching.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you this article right now. But it is yeah, I'm definitely going to watch Rebels again for sure. Chopper's a maniac.
Oh, he
So
did meet R2 at one point, apparently.
what's that?
I said he met R2 and 3PO at one point.
Really?
Yeah, look at the top of the article. The first picture is of
Oh.
R2, 3PO, and
Yes, I saw that.
Chopper.
I don't know what that is though. I don't
oh,
know.
well, I wonder if that's not the episode where they met Leia.
Oh, okay.
I
Man,
bet
I
that's
really
where
need
it
to go
is.
back through Rebels. No,
Yeah.
I watched Rebels. I remember going through.
I've watched it once.
I've watched it once as well. I watched all of the Clone Wars, and then you said, like, right after you finished, you could try Rebels. And I remember you saying, like, Rebels was not as good as Clone Wars. And I remember starting Rebels and it just being not as good as Clone Wars. I
No.
agreed with you totally. But by the end of Rebels, I actually really liked it.
Yes.
And I've only ever seen it that one time, and I definitely need to go back through there, especially since Rebels is probably more storyline to all of the stuff that they're making today.
Now, because Dave Filoni's in charge. This is
Right.
Dave Filoni's love child.
Yeah.
Like, this is his, you know,
Yeah,
this is
because
his thing.
all the shows are going to be around the timelines closer to Rebels as opposed to
So
the Clone
Ahsoka
Wars.
is based all 100% off of.
Yeah, it ends. You can watch the Ahsoka season almost right after
Yeah.
Rebels ends. You
Yeah.
can start watching Ahsoka, yeah. And then you wouldn't be confused in Ahsoka too, because you got Thrawn.
Mm-hmm. You have
And
Thrawn. You have
Ezra.
You have, yeah.
And you said I didn't even remember. You said the Ghost and Hera and Chopper were in Ahsoka, which I forget. So
and I'm sure there's other characters, but I'm just forgetting off the top of my head. Hold on.
maybe I need to go through Ahsoka again too. I don't know. It's tough. Now that we've talked through it, I think I could go either way. At the beginning of this, I opened with like, no, it's definitely Chopper, and then now I'm like, I don't know. I could see Chopper, like Chopper definitely.
If it was just a fight, like they just happened upon each other and just started fighting, Chopper would win.
Yeah.
But R2 with prep time, it's like Batman. Batman always wins with prep time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think with prep time, I think R2 would wipe the floor with Chopper.
Yeah.
But I don't think Chopper or R2 would kill Chopper.
Oh, maybe.
I don't think he would.
Yeah, that's true.
A Chopper would definitely sever R2's head.
Oh, he wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't give a shit about R2. Let's just push him out of the way for no reason.
He would destroy. There wouldn't be anything left of R2 if Chopper won.
Yeah.
But I think R2 could easily win if he had prep time.
Yeah.
Prep time, an hour at most, like, you know?
Yep. Sure.
Although Chopper in that time could easily go get a bunch of explosives and...
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You know, it is what it is. You know, that's a theoretical debate.
Yeah, you guys can comment, whoever's listening, comment on who you think would win this.
Absolutely.
And actually, just say what your favorite film is, too, while you're at it.
Yeah, because we did favorite film. So yours is episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And mine, I think I'm going to have to go with... Man, I think I might go... I started with Empire Strikes Back, episode
Very, very valid choice.
4 or 5, and I might have to go with Phantom Menace for nostalgia reasons. I don't know. They're both right there for me for nostalgia reasons, actually. So
Yeah.
that's a hard one for me. That's a hard one. If I had to pick one, I think I would prefer to watch a Phantom Menace more right now. If I was going to pick one to sit down and watch right now,
Yeah.
I would prefer to watch a Phantom Menace instead of Empire Strikes Back. But I mean, I like them both a lot. And then so those are 2 hopeful reoccurring segments. You could comment below, like, or whatever you think your favorite film is, like Tom said. And who do you think would win, Chopper or R2-D2? And we have talk some canon versus legend stuff. And then we'll talk some of the Disney era video games, some of the video games that they've come out in the Disney era, or maybe we'll just say video games altogether. I think
video games altogether.
Cool. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Thank you for everybody who's listening or not listening. Thanks for tuning in to R2-D2 Brothers. We will
thank you.
be back next week. Again, I'm
or
Josh.
Whenever you get this finished.
Jeez, I say next week. Yeah, like we're talking next week.
Like we're gonna get this done.
Next episode we'll be back, and we got more Star Wars stuff. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good stuff. Again, I'm Josh.
I'm Thomas.
Thank you for stopping by or not stopping by.